So I don't know what that is. A data line? What is a data line? I need some deadheads to help me here because I have no idea what this is. I do know this. This is an R36S with Wi-Fi. It finally has built-in Wi-Fi. Let's take a look today and explore the just released, just in our hands, R36XX. Stay tuned. I needed to build something quick. I needed a project. My mother-in-law was coming and I just knew that Ace was the place for me. So I went there and I'm like, no way guys, I'm not an Ace customer. I don't know how to build stuff. Anyways, Deadheads, welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel for the first time, new Deadheads. Today, we're gonna take a look at the R36XX from Game Console. All right, good news, guys. Anbernic has finally, after 3 months, released a new one, the R36XX, and their XX. No, wait, no, sorry, it's not Anbernic. It's Game Console. Our friends over at Game Console. So you might ask, how is this different from R36S? Well, besides this weird thing on the front, which I still don't know what this is. The manual didn't help. So maybe one of you guys can tell me exactly how this is supposed to be a data line. But besides the weird thing on the front, this has built-in Wi-Fi. It's got built-in Wi-Fi, guys, meaning retro achievements, Portmaster, and a bunch of other things have opened up. Now, previously, you could grab yourself a dongle and attach it and, do it that way, but this has it built in, making it a lot better. Now, why this is called the R36XX, I don't know, because that's very confusing because, of course, Anbernic has their XX line. So what? I don't know. Anyway, it's the R36XX, but is this really from the Game Console people or is this from the K36 people? Well, as always, let's start with the box. Looking at the box overview, it looks like what we're used to seeing for the Game Console. It's got that nice picture on the front. It does have the name, the R36XX, the model here. It's got the Game Console logo and it's got the high definition 640 by 40 screen. As we take a look around the box here, we do see on the side there's a little bit of information here talking about the OTG, the 2 cards, nothing on the bottom there or tops. And then we have the colorways. Now, it does currently come in these different colors. We do have the purple here, but you can see we have the gray, the black, and then the blue. So a little bit of colors there to look at it and everything. As we flip around and look on the back, we do have the specs here. And this is no surprise. It's running the same configuration, the same RK3326 that we've seen forever with the Mali G31. It has 1 gigabyte of LDDR RAM. And so this is pretty much functionally the R36 with Wi-Fi. So this review is not going to be too terribly in-depth or because it's functionally going to be like that. We're going to focus on the hardware, the buttons and stuff like that. But let's get this guy open up and let's take it out of the box. And as we open up the box here and take it out, the first thing we notice is this, again, this data line. This data line. I don't understand what this thing is. It's in a little baggie. It has a little lanyard to attach it, and it has a place to attach the lanyard. So once we take this out of the box and sort of inspect it, it's a bit neat here. This sort of reminds me of, well, I don't know what it reminds me of, but it looks like a loop here. But if you gently push in and pull over here, you can actually separate it and pull out the insides of it. And there we go. And now we have USB-C, but then we have this data line. All right, I don't know, is this a European thing? Is this something I'm not familiar with? Sorry, my ignorance, but please educate me, guys, because I don't understand this. I don't know what this is supposed to do. I don't know. Maybe one of you can know. I'll check the manual. It doesn't say anything about it, but nice little idea here to just kind of slot that in there or whatever and put it in. That's a nice little touch. And having the little lanyard attachment means it can stay on there. So, I mean, for whoever that's for, I think that's kind of cool. So we'll give them that. Getting rid of the stuff, and let's take a look. We'll move the unit out of the way here, and below, no surprise here, we do have our normal screen protector, little flimsy screen protector. So at least it's the clear one, it's not blue. We also have wipies, little wipies, and then we have our USB A to C as always. So USB A to C, no surprises there, but we do have a little bitty manual. A little manual, and there's not much into this manual, guys. There's nothing. There's nothing to it. Let it focus here. The one thing that I will say about the manual is just some misspelling. What is esterarc? Esterarc? I think it means retroarch, but I don't know what esterarc is. So yeah, no mention of this. There's no mention of that. So again, I'm at a loss here. Maybe one of you guys can educate me and school me here because I just don't know. I don't know, guys. Maybe we'll figure this out at some point. It might even be really cool and awesome. But let's get the box out of the way and let's get the handheld out of here. And again, I do want to show there's a little place for the lanyard on the side here to where it holds that. I think the picture on the box, let me get the picture over here. The picture on the box does show it attached. So you can see it is attached to that little slot on the side. So good, bad, I don't know. I mean, again, it's something I don't know how to use, but hopefully I'll gain a little insight. Now, as we pick up and take a look at it and holding the handheld for the first time, I notice immediately there's a design on this. And you can see the design and it looks a lot like, where have we seen that before? The K36. We've kind of seen that little design on the D28S. So these factories seem to be like intertwined and supporting each other. So I don't know. But first impressions, it feels good in the hands. It feels like an R36S clone. Now, this got some things about it that are very interesting. Let's take a look now at a little size comparison. So I've got a little size comparison up here to kind of show you guys the difference in where this fits in size. And so you can see here that it is about the typical size when you compare it to the Miyu Mini over here on the left, the small one, the 2.8 Miyu Mini. We got the RG40XX on the other side, the big side of it. And then we've got the Battle XP, the G350 to give it like that. Now we also have another R36 clone here. We've got the Gaminja ANS11 to kind of just show here as I have it turned the wrong way, show you guys here kind of comparison in size right there. So you can kind of see in the size between the two. This is really just an R40S Pro in another shell. So you can kind of just take a look there and see that. Now, we've got the size comparisons out. And as always, let's check out the hardware. So let's start with the buttons. And the buttons feel nice. They feel like your typical buttons. They've got a good travel distance. They are interconnected a bit. So if you press A, you can see the X moves a little bit and so forth. You can kind of see in there, this is a transparent model, but they're good buttons. They feel nice. They're not as good as the Battle XP. Now we're talking some quality there with the anbernic. Battle XP. And so I like the buttons. I got to say, I like the buttons on there. Moving down to the sticks, and the sticks feel good. The sticks have a nice push to them. They're at a nice distance between each other. That's important to me because when they're close together, like on the XU10, I just feel cramped. So I like that they're spread apart. They are a little bit low on the handheld, but they're pretty typical for what you're used to. I'd say they're just pretty much exactly the same as you're going to find on any of these R36S or clones. For that, they are switch style, so but you know. The D-pad, let's move on to the D-pad. Now, I actually like the D-pad, and trying the D-pad out and testing it, it feels really good. So this is a really good filling D-pad. It has a nice little pivot to it. It seems to have good support, and yeah, the D-pad just feels nice. We have the rest of the buttons here. They're a little bit loud. Moving on to the back, and we'll take a look at these shoulders. They're a little bit loud shoulders right there, a little loud, but they feel good in the hands. They're in a good position, especially if you're holding the sticks. They seem to be good. Again, comparing with this Gaminja, these are a little thinner. This is sort of thicker, and I think I like the thinner better. So you can see the two of these side by side. These are angled a little bit more. These are more straight. So I'm going to go with the game console here. So it has a nice screen on it. It's the same boring 640 by 480. 640 by 480 screen we're tired of. But it is a nice crisp screen. Let's wipe it down here. And we have a nice little design around it to give it a little character. On the back here, we do have the game console logo with the model number R36XX. There's no S in it, so I don't think this is from the R36S. It may be from the K. I don't know. There's so many of these clones, guys. It's kind of hard to keep up with. But this does have Wi-Fi in it. And then the back of it has a nice little battery door. It's similar to the battery door we saw on the anbernic. I mean, listen to me. The Battle XP G350. In fact, the build quality of this is not as good as the Battle XP, but it's close. It's not bad. This is a nice feeling handheld. It feels nice. I like the way that they lasered that on rather than a sticker. I think that's nice. You got a sticker, but I like how that's lasered on. Let's go around the rest of the handheld, and we do have this little place here for the lanyard. You do have your volume rocker and a TF slot on this side. This other side, you have another TF slot, and you have your power and reset. On the bottom here, you do have your two ports, your OTG and your DC power, and then you have a headphone jack. Up top, you have nothing. So that's pretty much a tour of the handheld. Again, it feels pretty good in hand. I like the way it feels. It feels comfortable to hold. It's pretty nice. Now, in testing this thing, it has ARC-OS. So as we boot up and take a look, it does have ARC-OS. It's got a fairly recent version of ARC-OS from February, so not bad. And as I went through, the first thing I did was, does it really have Wi-Fi? Does it really have Wi-Fi, or do I need that dongle thing? You don't need the dongle thing. It's got Wi-Fi. I set it up. I got online. I got to Wi-Fi. I updated Portmaster, and then I couldn't get Portmaster to work. So I don't know. I'm a little irritated there. It did come with a couple of Portmaster games, but I'm going to have to work through this a little bit. Again, this is an initial unboxing of first impressions, and try to see if I can get Portmaster to work, because it said it updated, then it wouldn't load. So I don't know. But going through the menu, there's a nice theme here. There's a lot of themes. They actually do a lot of themes. It also has a lot of games, and they're very well organized, and they're very well scraped. So all of the art that I went through as I looked at this seemed to be scraped nice. It has good presentation. I like the cyberpunk theme that I got here that I'm showing. And as far as playing on this thing, it is an RK3326 running ARC-OS from February. Not a lot of surprises here, guys. I mean, to be honest, I'll show some game footage, but this thing performed as expected. If you take a look here and look at N64, they put these whole catalogs of N64 on here, but it doesn't. The 3326 just doesn't. I mean, the 3566 even really barely doesn't play N64. So yes, it's on here. If you get a hold of this video, or you get a hold of one of these and you're like, N64 is not working, it's because it's the chip, you know. But they have it on here. Now, the other thing I like is a front-facing speaker. Game Battle XP. Why did we not put the speaker up front? Now, the speaker itself is not super great. As I show a little test here of me covering the speaker, you kind of hear the difference there. It does get kind of loud, so it's not bad. But I would say, again, that the speaker is average. It's not awesome. So let's talk about, initially, this handheld. What did I like? So I like the build quality on this. I found the buttons, the sticks, the D-pad, the shoulder buttons, the battery cover, the translucence of it, the feel of it to be good. We're talking again about a $40 to $45 handheld, which after a while will drop down like the R36S, maybe under $30. But you're going to get Wi-Fi. I like that there's Wi-Fi in this. Finally, there's Wi-Fi in a under $50 handheld that's a 3.5-inch vertical. Now, we've had things like this guy. He's under 50 and he's got Wi-Fi, but we really haven't had this 3.5-inch, this Game Boy style vertical that has built-in Wi-Fi under $50. Maybe you're remembering wrong, but that's what my head's telling me. So I like it has Wi-Fi. I like it has ARC-OS, that it's updated. It's not emulate. It's not emulate. It is ARC-OS on this thing. And so I don't know anything about the panel, guys. I'll get into that. I have no idea which panel this is using. The screen looked really good to me. It looked good. I mean, I've seen this screen a million times, 640 by 480, but it looked crisp and sharp. Very thin bezel around this thing. I like this. It's a very thin bezel. This is a nice handheld. Now, I don't understand the little thing that came with it, so maybe I can figure that out. Maybe I'm going to be even more blown away. There's no rumble in this thing that I can tell, but it does have Wi-Fi. So, I mean, that's a big step up right here. This right here. I still think the Battle XP is the best 3.5-inch vertical right now under 40, 45 or under, but this is going to give you built-in Wi-Fi, So the things that I did not like about this are the usual, the limit of the CPU. It shouldn't have N64 on it. It's not really going to play it. It's going to get to play some games to do it. And its overall build quality does not reach quite the niceness of an anbernic. Anbernic still is king when it comes to build quality. So this one's still not quite there, but a lot better than some of these. Better some of these clones we've done. I was really hard on the K36 when it first came out. It had crap software and it didn't feel very well. If this is from them, kudos. If it's from the real game console people, kudos. This, I like it. I like this. So, I mean, you know me, I'll tell you guys if I don't like something, but I say initially, I like it. So let me know what you think in the comments, guys. That's the first initial review and impressions of the R36XX, which seems to be pretty decent. Remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones, because tomorrow is never promised, deadheads. We'll see you next time. We have some more exciting, including the stubby. The stubby is in-house, the little one nub stubby, and we'll have our initial unboxing and review of it soon as well. Stay safe out there, deadheads. We'll see you next time. Deaf Fred out.